What's up, everybody? I'm Damon Hatfield, IGN's resident Godzilla superfan. I'm joined here by my good friend Jared Petty.
Greetings!
Godzilla enthusiast, is that fair to say?
Yes, Godzilla enthusiast, absolutely.
And we're here going to take a look at the latest trailer for Godzilla, the second trailer. Jared, do you agree this trailer is awesome?
The cockles of my heart kind of exploded when I saw this. This is amazing. Yeah,
it's so good. We're going to jump right into it here. First shot here, we see here, I think, a city's being evacuated.
Disaster.
Trying to get away from Godzilla, who we know lands on the West Coast. To make matters worse, a plane has crashed on top of the people that are being evacuated.
And what can bring down an airplane? Why, Godzilla.
A giant monster. A giant monster that
Yeah.
came out of the sea. We hear the voice of the magnificent Bryan Cranston.
Look up there in the top left, the origami right there, little Japanese homage, perhaps. Maybe I don't know if it's a Rodan nod. I don't know, but it's great.
I don't think that's San Francisco in the background there that's being destroyed.
No, I don't think so either. It doesn't look very Bay Area. Way too much green. Oh, something falling down there.
We do hear the voice of Bryan Cranston, who plays a nuclear physicist. He's father to one of the main characters, Lieutenant Ford Brody, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is kick-ass.
Yeah. In every sense of the word.
In both
Absolutely.
kick-ass movies. Yeah.
Now, he's running toward trouble here, so we know he's heroic. And we're going out into the desert.
He says, we know you're hiding something out there. So do you think they found a way to contain Godzilla?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think one contains Godzilla. Not for very long, anyway. You can evaporate his skin off the bones, but other than that, you really don't have much you can do with it.
Maybe they just have some knowledge of it that they're not.
I mean, who knows what they were
being forthcoming with.
But no, I think maybe they managed to distract him. I don't know, but I don't think you're going to contain Godzilla very long. That would go. I mean, these guys. Well, we'll get there. Let's move on.
This is Las Vegas. We know that San Francisco is featured very prominently in this film. I think that's where he first sets foot on American soil, which makes sense because he comes from the Pacific.
Okay.
So apparently he makes his way inland all the way to Vegas.
Yeah, that's a long trip.
This is not the Statue of Liberty from New York City. This would
be Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
I love this shot coming up. Where is it here?
Agitated Bryan Cranston.
I love that. The lead actor from my favorite TV show of all time is going to be in my.
This is great. You're right.
Yeah, the spine's coming out of the water is fantastic.
Yeah, and then look at there. You've got a tsunami wave coming in. I mean, the kind of things that would happen if a giant monster actually rose out of the ocean and decided to smash your city.
Yeah, Godzilla over the years has gone, back and forth being serious and silly.
Yeah.
The tone here is definitely on the serious side.
No, I think this goes much more to the 1954 Godzilla, which was a fairly serious movie with a strong message about nuclear proliferation. And
I'm glad you brought that up because now we get a little bit of backstory on what's going on here and some hints to some ties to the 1954 original Godzilla film.
Yeah.
Here we have the voice of Ken Watanabe, who's Hollywood's go-to guy when you need a Japanese actor who speaks English.
Yeah, and also because this is going to be distributed by Toho in Japan, Ken Watanabe remains a very respected actor in Japan. When I lived there, he was still very prominent, so that's another reason I think they brought him in. Plus, he's a really good actor.
He says in 1954, we woke in something.
Right.
1954 is when the original Godzilla movie took place. Ken Watanabe plays a character named Daisuke Serizawa.
Yeah.
That is the character from the original film that created the oxygen destroyer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That killed Godzilla.
So do we have continuity? Do we have continuity or not?
However, Daisuke Serizawa died at the end.
Right,
of the film.
He kills himself so that the oxygen destroyer can't reach the rest of humanity because it's too powerful a weapon.
Yeah, the knowledge died with him. So that's what I don't get. Is it...
Well, 1954 is prominent for another reason, Damon, and I think that might be what it is. 1954 is also the year of the Bikini Atoll nuclear test, where the Japanese fishing boat Lucky 5 was bombarded with radiation from the Bikini Atoll test. It was an American nuclear test, and it landed on the boat. The beginning of the Japanese version of Godzilla features a fishing boat being exposed to radiation. Again, it was a nod to something that happened earlier that year, before the movie came out, about 6 months before the movie was released. And I think that it's possible that in 1954 they're saying that the hydrogen bomb tests might have awakened Godzilla, which would be very well connected to the. So maybe there's no continuity, but it's a nod. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, the character died at the end of the movie, but this Ken Watanabe is playing a character with the same name. At the end of the movie, they're worried that nuclear testing, if it continues, more monsters like Godzilla could return.
Right.
So that seems to be maybe what they're dealing with here. Here, Ken is looking at an old photo from 1954 when they first found Godzilla in their timeline here. And then I think we may be getting a flashback sequence here.
Yeah, and the idea is
this sequence, which is awesome.
The weapon was being used to try to destroy Godzilla. It wasn't actually a nuclear test, they say.
Exactly.
They were disguised as nuclear tests. Really, they were trying to blow up Godzilla.
As you can see, Godzilla is coming out of the water here, and that bomb has been set on the edge of the beach.
Right.
So they're going to detonate it as soon as Godzilla comes up.
Yeah, so he comes up.
I think this is a flashback. Ken is explaining how they tried to deal with him back in the day.
At Bikini Atoll.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it didn't work out.
This year.
Yeah, this year. So, I don't know. Maybe he's been asleep. Maybe he got knocked out. Maybe he's just off eating fish. I don't know.
I don't know. He definitely died at the end of the original
movie.
Godzilla.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on.
This is setting up. There's a big train sequence in the movie. This is setting that up. I think they're loading. They're carrying missiles on this train through this tunnel, and as you can see in the background, all the actions happening there. We'll see a little bit more of the train sequence coming up here.
All right, cool.
Good shot of Bryan Cranston and his son, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Great shot of a tail going through the city.
Oh, it just looks so classic. Look at that.
I think that's going to be San Francisco.
That beast from 20,000 Fathoms body there that they built him on. It looks just great. You know, I'm excited seeing. Okay, what is that?
So, the official Legendary Pictures plot description is an epic rebirth to Toho's iconic Godzilla. The spectacular adventure pits the world's most famous monster against malevolent creatures who, bolstered by humanity's scientific arrogance, threaten our very existence.
Okay. So we know there are other monsters.
Yeah.
What is this one?
Because it looks like a tentacle sort of thing. We'll see a larger version of it later. It's got this orange glow to it, so I think there's some sort of energy happening in it. It seems to have grabbed a missile, right?
Yeah, it almost looked like it was coming out of it to me, but I think it's grabbed it. It's really driving me nuts because is there a Toho monster that this could be? I mean, is there somebody from the canon? I've been trying to figure this out.
I don't think they're using like a classic Toho monster. I think they've invented something different.
Okay.
It makes me a little nervous when they introduce, there's like these other monsters. You know, the 1998 Godzilla was so terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the third act, they introduce all the mini Godzillas.
The Raptorzilla.
Yeah, it's like, come on. So
I like but looking at this already, seeing the references to Bikini Atoll, seeing the fact that they've obviously taken this very seriously. Bryan Cranston is in this movie. It's a disaster movie. The director of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, I think it was Destroy All Monsters, one of the later Godzilla movies, said once that the American Godzilla took the god out of Godzilla, and his point being that we tried to reduce him to a big iguana, and it looks here we have something where there's that force of nature. You know, Japanese, not to try to sound pretentious, but when I lived in Japan, I picked up Japanese people often connect nature and the divine. Shinto, the national religion, is about that. Natural disasters are they have a divine force, you know? Godzilla is a force of nature. He's something beyond humanity, which is something that was lost in that 98 movie. It looks like these guys get it. I'm so thrilled about that.
Godzilla, I mean, I can sort of see the plot arc taking shape here. Godzilla shows up, causes a lot of destruction. People think he's the bad guy, but then it turns out there's these other monsters, and Godzilla can be used to help defeat them, and then you sort of realize Godzilla's not malevolent or evil in itself any more than a hurricane is evil, right?
He's just doing what Godzilla does. So. Yeah, and can we use him? You said use him. Can we use him? I mean, that's the other part. I don't know, man.
This is just a good shot of Ken Watanabe here. The first time you get a good shot of his face.
Handsome dude.
He would also be much older now if he were playing the original.
Yeah, he would. So obviously he is not playing that guy. But
then we also get a good shot of Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's next here?
Okay,
I love this shot. Jets are just being swatted out of the sky, and this jet is falling straight down on top of these soldiers.
Is that a jet? I've been wondering about that. Are we sure that's a jet?
Well, yeah. So
that's not like Rodan with his wings folded back? Look at that. Could that be legs at the bottom there, and then spread out, and then the wings fold back and it dies?
And so this is that same object going into the water here.
I think so. And look at that, like folded back wings. It looks like maybe I'm just. It looks like
that would be too much if Godzilla or if Rodan is in this movie too.
Yeah, I mean maybe I'm just again I would be full of crap, but look at that. It kind of looks like because when Rodan does the dive, he folds the wings back.
Yeah, I mean,
and when he goes into the water there, move it up a little bit again if you don't mind.
Wait, forward or back?
Just forward a little bit, and look. Yeah, I think that might be a Rodan going in the water. Maybe not. I want it to be. Maybe. And look how much bigger he is in the plane.
That's true.
That's a huge thing. The boat.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I originally thought that was just another one of the jets, but maybe it's like if it's not Rodan, maybe it is another flying monster.
Yeah, or some kind of super weapon. I don't know, but I'm going to hope for Rodan.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, he's knocking planes out of the sky.
Yeah.
You know,
we saw that sequence in the original trailer. Juliette Binoche plays Bryan Cranston's wife.
Yeah,
she apparently needs to be quarantined.
Something very bad happening
here for some reason.
Yeah. Okay.
Now here they're exploring. Yeah, they found a giant skeleton. I don't know. Maybe this is the original Godzilla from the 1954 film.
Because his flesh was burned off of his bones.
Because of the
That's
oxygen
right.
destroyer, it pulls all the oxygen out of the air. You die of asphyxiation. He was skeletonized.
Nothing left but a skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, that could be it.
Of course, that was at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah,
so
Tokyo Bay. So
why is there no water here?
Well, yeah, we do not. I don't know, but
really cool shots of the jets being swatted out, and then there's one that comes just right into the.
It looks like they did this so right. Oh,
it's great.
Oh man.
Oh, we missed a shot.
What did we miss?
We're going back here.
We're going back a little bit.
There's just this isn't a big Easter egg or anything. It's just a really nice shot of that's the Golden Gate Bridge. That is
down she goes.
Godzilla has apparently just walked
through the Golden Gate Bridge.
Through the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
So we're just looking at that flying monster, maybe a throwdown, but we get another shot of the other monster here. Oh wait, another.
So whereabouts? Where is he? Looking.
It's gonna be right at the 2-minute mark. This is Godzilla. Apparently just straight out of the water.
Yeah,
the water's
it looks
just
like they've
drifting
gone
off
with. I love how the flesh has that desiccated look. It's really cool. That was originally, at least according to some things I've read, that was originally done as a tribute to the Hiroshima survivors. That his skin was supposed to look like it had been burned by radiation.
Interesting.
Yeah, I read that a couple of places.
This is it.
Okay, yeah. What is that?
This is
that
like,
is not Godzilla.
And it has that orange glow that we saw in the tentacle.
Glow, yeah.
So I don't. It's like I think it looks like insect-like,
like a mantis, maybe.
Yeah, or like a spider foot or something.
Oh, no. What's the spider monster's name? Oh, I forget. But those are tentacles. That's not spider. Yeah, but that does look like a spider.
And it looks like the giant monster's in the background there.
Yeah,
blurred,
there's something back there.
So we just get this leg in the foreground.
Wow, he's a big dude too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know. Do not know, but so we've got at least a couple of monsters.
And this is that train sequence that we shot. They're apparently running from the flaming train, and Godzilla's spine comes right through.
Godzilla may do a save right there for this guy. He may be very grateful for Godzilla's interference.
He's just going to die.
And water does not kill you in movies, so he's going to be all right. Look at that.
That's a great shot. Full frontal shot of Godzilla there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's very dinosaurish.
Yep. Yeah. But he looks like Godzilla.
Yeah, very T-Rex-ish.
Well, this is what a high-budget Godzilla is probably going to look like right here. I'm good with this. Oh, it's in the rain.
You get the really nice Godzilla roar, which sounds very, very classic, very similar to the original one.
Do you know if they did it the same way? Did they run the resin over the double bass?
That's how they did it originally.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what method they're using here.
But, okay, well, that's right. I didn't know if you'd heard anything, Damon. Man.
Yeah. That's the latest Godzilla trailer. I'm super excited for it. I'm a lifelong Godzilla fan, and it looks like they're doing it right. Yeah,
it does look like they're doing it right. I mean, previews are always suspect, but everything we've seen so far just leads us to believe the people who were involved in this movie, the people who put it together, the look at the trailers, this just looks like they're doing it right, man.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for sitting in with me on this, Jared.
Damon, thank you.
Friends, the new Godzilla movie is out in May. For everything on it, stay tuned, IGN.